Fact. Now get a BX 1880 for as low as $99 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st. Come see us or go to gokubota.com for more information.
Napa know-how.
The only thing worse than rain and slush on the road is rain and slush on your windshield. Luckily, when you buy a pair of Rain-X wiper blades, you'll get up to $10 off, plus a free bottle of Rain-X 2-in-1 glass cleaner. So clean off the crud with up to $10 off a pair of Rain-X wiper blades and free glass cleaner. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer ends 12/31/18.
As the morning sun shines in, you hit the snooze button. 10 minutes turned into an hour. Now there's no time to take a shower or time to get dressed, which explains the sweater vest and the fedora. When your morning is hell, just go to Taco Bell.
And for just $1, let us make you breakfast, like Taco Bell's grilled breakfast burrito. Eggs, bacon, and cheese wrapped in a warm tortilla. At participating stores for a limited time during breakfast hours. Prices may vary. Tax extra.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Get your winter coats out because today is supposed to be cloudy, but the sun will be out this afternoon. High is only going to be near 47. Partly cloudy overnight with an overnight low around 23. Even cooler tomorrow, sunny skies, but a high only near 39. Mostly clear overnight tomorrow night with an overnight low around 25. And Sunday a little bit warmer than Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 48. Today again, cloudy, then gradually sunny throughout the day with a high near 47.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Taco John's.
Do you have a big event coming up and need some cooking done, like a private party, a business affair, a street fair, or even a car show? Any event that you need to satisfy a crowd, let Big John's Barbecue cook for your next event. Big John's Barbecue cooks Caldwell County's finest barbecue. From ribs, brisket, pulled pork, or chicken, Big John's can meet the needs of your event. They can also do sweet treats, and they can customize the menu by request. So give Big John's a call today. You can call or text your orders at 270-625-0565 or 270-601-0717. And be sure to follow Big John's Barbecue on Facebook to see where they're going to be next. They're in town 2 to 3 days a week. That's Big John's Barbecue, serving Caldwell County's finest barbecue. You can give them a call or text at 625-0565 or 270-601-0717. That's Big John's Barbecue.
1580 103.3 WPKY, 8:09 time. Good morning. It is still 41 right now. We are joined by Gator and DT here being a bad influence on me. Good morning.
Good morning, young lady. Good football weather.
Yes, it's going to be cold tonight. Bring your blankets, your scarves, your gloves, your hot chocolate, whatever.
It's going to be a little nippy out there, and it looks like, again, Dee, we've gone from summer to winter.
It went straight
not
ahead.
Not very much fall.
From last week to this week, there's not a leaf. All of them are blowing off that tree over there, and they weren't last week at all.
I believe by this time next week, they'll all be bare. They may be bare this weekend.
You can't wait so you can mow them in your yard.
That's right. We got another exciting weekend of high school football coming up tonight. The Caldwell County Tigers take on the LaRue County Hawks for the second year in a row. LaRue County's traveling over here to Caldwell County and going to take on our Tigers here at Tiger Stadium at 7 p.m. kickoff. And a little bit later, we're going to have a special guest join us online. But we got a few things to take care of before that. You got a few shout-outs, I believe.
Yes, let me give one real quick. I want to give a shout-out to Christy Mallory. Saw her in Food Giant the other day. You know her daughter is the blonde, pretty lady that runs part of the place. Her daughter is even prettier than she is, and she checks people out. I didn't know her, and she's the checkout.
Checkout.
But anyway, I want to give her a shout. She told me she doesn't even like sports, but she listens to us because I think she thinks we're stupid. But I believe we are probably.
Well, you know we are.
But anyway, at least she listens. It's funny. But she's kin to Janie in a certain way. Bruce Mallory, her husband, is kin to the Lewises somehow. I'm not sure. Also, I went and saw our old buddy Charlie Coleman yesterday.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone.
Pacemaker put in, and he's pacing himself real well. He's sitting in that chair working hard over there on those weights, and he was on the treadmill when I went over there. I almost left without him, but I took him a good piece of pie so he can get pepped back up.
And, you know, that's probably going to improve his golf game now.
Exactly.
And, you know, I'm going to have to get out there and start working at it a little bit,
You better.
know, early in the spring. But, yeah, we want to wish Charlie the best of luck. And, of course, you know, he's a big supporter of ours, and I know he listens every Friday morning as well.
Yeah, I got one or two more. Oh, you had one you're going to go. I saw another person out at, of course, Food Giant's my place, I guess, anymore. But I saw Dickie and Rhonda Green out there, and Dickie told me he listened every time. And I know all these people. He's a year older than I am, which that means he doesn't have anything to do either. So he's listening because he has to. But
and Lucas, we coached Lucas, his son.
Yes,
and
Lucas played ball for us.
Right.
And, we remember all those guys. They always came up and were very nice to us, whether their son had a good game or not. They didn't take it out on us. And we had a good time. We really did, with all the parents and the kids.
That's right. And we've got Tony Watson and her crew, you know, down there at the courthouse, and what a great job that they did on election night.
Yes.
And during the election,
that kicks in some money, but still.
And, you know, there was some tight races. And, of course, one in particular that we worked with for years, we want to give a congratulations to is Larry Curlin.
Yep.
Larry coached with us for I don't know how many years.
Just every
17,
year
I guess every year we coached.
And he coached before we got here.
And he
did. He helped Coach Giordano before I even got here.
He did, and of course, how many times did we try to get him to come to the Saturday morning quarterback show and talk, and he just never would and didn't like doing it. But the interview that Beth Mann did the other night at the courthouse, he did an outstanding job on his interview, and of course he gave congratulations to his opponent, and he's going to do a great job. He's a hard worker, one of the hardest working people that we've been associated with, and of course we just want to shout out to him as well.
He was saving himself.
Yeah,
he didn't want to.
He's waited till later in life.
He didn't want to spend all of his time at a silly football banquet when he was pepping up for the judge.
That's right. And of course, who knew that years ago that he would be in this situation? Right. Another one I want to give a shout out to is Ralph Sharp. Ralph's had some surgery, and he's when you think of Caldwell County, he's at all the athletic events, any event around, and he's at home now, I think, recovering from his surgery, and we want to wish him best wishes as well, and he keeps everybody kind of updated on his situation, and I think he's having visitors come and see him, so hang in there, Ralph, and we're all still praying for you on a speedy recovery.
Here's David Barnes. He came in. I was going to tell him we got a new seat, new microphones, headsets, and it's all because of Gator and myself. They couldn't stand it without having new equipment because of our show. Yeah, that's right. Blue, too. Yeah, it's blue. That's right.
It's good. Coach, thank you for joining us again this morning, and it's kind of like deja vu all over again. We got the LaRue County Hawks coming to town for second year in a row, and I know it's going to be an exciting game tonight. Going to have some good football weather, and we want the crowd, the fans, to come out in large numbers and wear some warm clothing.
We look forward to it. The good thing is we're playing home. We don't have to travel up to LaRue County. It's a pretty good trip. So,
aren't they an hour ahead of us too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Oh, that's a tough deal when you have to load those kids up early before school's even out, take them up there. Yeah. Then you have to feed them on the road. You'd have, or unless you fed them a meal, I guess, before you left. I don't remember. I don't know how we did that. I think we just had potato chips, didn't we?
We'd probably get out around noon or better and, take a long trip. I remember one year we went to, was it Monroe County, and we stopped up at Western when Coach Allison, David Allison, was there, and he showed us all around the we, broke the trip up a little bit. It's a pretty good trip to Monroe County.
No,
it's pretty,
don't want to.
Pretty tough, but
it's a nice little ride-up shirt you got on there, too, by the way.
Well, that's my winter apparel, so I'm breaking it out. This is a busy time of the year now, David. I've been on the road most of the week trying to pack up some of these teams you're putting out of the playoffs.
He's giving you one. I know he has. It's in your closet. You just don't wear it.
Well, you'd stump me. Coach, we mentioned earlier that LaRue County's coming over here. Of course, there's a lot of local interest in this game tonight, and especially with the Jaggers family, Josh Jaggers being the head football coach of the LaRue County Hawks, and, of course, Joby being our quarterback here, his cousin and all. And I think Todd put in the paper it's Jaggers Bowl 2. And, we're looking for a big, strong fan support, from the Jaggers family
In the
tonight.
last 4 years, when we played E-Town that first time here, Joe Kelly's grandson was
That's right. He's a quarterback. Beat us on the last throw of the game.
Yeah, and then,
Jack Wilson. I believe his name was Wilson. Yes. Yes.
and then
Good player.
Last year and this year we're playing Josh. And so it's a bit of connection there for 3 or 4 years.
I guarantee you that Marty and Joe and Josh have been sitting in the living room somewhere looking all week at film, and they got their plan ready for you. I guarantee you.
Yeah, you can promise you that.
I ran into Rick Lewis Monday, I guess it was, at the fitness center, and I think he and Bebby said they were by the Jaggers this past weekend. They were up for the Breeders' Cup, I think, to see Mike Hunter, and he said they stopped by there, and he said Joe Kelly was already drawing up plays for Josh to run. And, of course, that's a strong family background in the areas of football coaching. And, I'm going to ask Josh, of course, Mike Fields did an article, really good article on that family and the family history there of them coaching. And I think it's back to 1963 is when Joe Kelly started coaching, and there's been a Jaggers coaching ever since. That's a long stint.
Sure is. And, of course, Marty's been AD after he did quit coaching for quite a few years. Over at Trigg, I think, wasn't it? It's where he was the athletic director for, I don't know if he still is or not.
Marty's around here. I see Marty quite often now. He's around here in town, and, I'm sure that, of course, it's just a great family of football knowledge people. And, you got Brian and Johnny here. And, of course, we had the opportunity to coach Brian and work with Johnny in a lot of areas. And no telling how much they've done for football here in Caldwell County. And, of course, all over they're just well known all over the state. And I know they'll be here in great support tonight.
98, we won the state championship. Josh was on that team.
That's
was coach, assistant coach at Danville.
Yes, right. Sir. Josh was an outstanding player, and of course Marty was assistant to Sam Harp that year, and they just had a great team, and of course we were fortunate enough to come away with a win against them, and I can still remember seeing Johnny down there waving that flag, at Caldwell County flag. So
20 years ago.
20 years. It's hard to believe.
Kelly Tinsley and Josh that day, wasn't it?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good matchup. It was a battle, and of course, I brought up Nathan Fuqua last week. Remember him? That was the nose guard for. I tell you, Danville had a tough line that year, and especially with those two anchoring it, and just a great experience. And we're looking forward to tonight's game. That's what we want to talk about. How did practice go this week in preparation for LaRue County, Coach?
Well, Monday it rained. As soon as we got out of school, it started raining. So we watched film most that day. Didn't go out. And then Tuesday had a really good day. And my dad used to never practice, so
no.
He said Wednesday's best practice he's seen us have in a long time. So that was good for him to say that.
Yeah.
So I felt the same way. We had really two real good days.
He would know. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
He'll let you know too if you have a bad one.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a short break here, and then we're going to come right back, and we'll have Josh Jaggers on with us, the head football coach at the LaRue County Hawks. You're listening to Gator and DT.
Pennyrile Home Medical voted best home medical provider in Western Kentucky 3 years in a row. From home oxygen to beds to power wheelchairs, they have it all. They beat the internet prices and guarantee the best prices on the same items. Lift chairs as low as $20 per month. So Clean CPAP cleaners only $315. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. If quality counts, call and request Pennyrile Home Medical. 1-800-445-8002.
Introducing the all-new 1500 Ram Crew Cab with groundbreaking exterior styling, uncompromising luxury, and safety in numbers. The new Ram has available active level 4-corner air suspension for the best ride in the truck market. Best-in-class rear legroom, in-floor storage, and the industry-exclusive Ram Box, the pickup bed with built-in toolboxes. When you push the start button and you hear that 5.7 Hemi come to life, you'll know then which truck you'll buy. The all-new Ram. See it now at Trice Hughes in Princeton, your Chrysler Dodge Ram dealer.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the Law Office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Get your winter coats out because today is supposed to be cloudy, but the sun will be out this afternoon. High is only going to be near 47. Partly cloudy overnight with an overnight low around 23. Even cooler tomorrow, sunny skies, but a high only near 39. Mostly clear overnight tomorrow night with an overnight low around 25. And Sunday a little bit warmer than Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 48. Today again, cloudy, then gradually sunny throughout the day with a high near 47. 1580 103.3 WPKY. We are back with Gator and DT, joined by Coach Barnes and Josh Jagger on the phone.
Back here at Gator and DT, and we've been joined by Josh Jaggers, the head football coach at the LaRue County Hawks. Josh, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me back. Looking forward to it. Glad y'all asked.
Can't hear.
I can hear him a little bit. We got a little problem here, Josh. We're hanging with us, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, it sounded a little off on my end, too.
Hey, Josh. We got new headphones here in the studio, so we're kind of getting adjusted to them. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Yes, sir.
Coach, once again, welcome to the show, and congratulations on winning your first-round game last week against the Union County Braves, and you get a return trip back here to Princeton and to take on the Caldwell County Tigers. How's that feel?
It feels good, especially after the year we had. We had some disappointment this year. We had a lot of guys back, we had some guys coming back. We lost a lot of guys, last year, graduating 22 seniors and whatnot. And we had a couple games this year that we lost, kind of heartbreaking city, and so it was really good to go out last week and execute like they did against Union County, and here we go for round two, part two of coming down that way again.
Well, Coach, you're kind of in the same situation that we're in this year. You were last year. We've got 21 seniors, I believe, on the roster, and
right.
You've bounced back pretty well against a very competitive schedule, and I've noticed most of your scores. I think your record is 6-5, and you've lost some close ball games and all. But you got a big win last week over Union County, and Union County I thought was one of our surprise teams in our district this season.
Yeah, they were. They can play. I was really surprised. how good they were coming back, because they lost quite a bit last year, and they ended up going, obviously 7-3. I tell you what, I mean, after looking at them, how they played Murray, and beating Murray, and then beating a good Madisonville team, 14-13. I didn't really know what to expect, and then we came out just kind of guns a-blazing, and probably played the best game of the year, to be honest with you, Coach. I mean, we really did. Our struggle all year long, we lost that quarterback we had last year, was a player, and we lost him and replaced him with a young guy named Connor Baker, as a sophomore. And I kind of thought early on that, Connor would maybe be able to do some things maybe sooner than we were able to, but we just kind of struggled in that aspect, and he absolutely just played lights out last week, and needless to say, we being able to throw the ball helps a little bit, and we were finally able to complete some passes last week, and that kind of set us up for the rest of the game, to be honest with you.
Hey, Josh from DT. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, DT. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I don't know if I'm too close or too far away from this mic. It's kind of smoking on us, but I like you. Union County, to me, I thought was going to be a really strong team, and you must have played well. You picked a good time to play well, because they were tough.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yes, they were.
We really...
No, they were.
We really thought, they were close to Tillman. Honestly, I did. I felt like they were as good as Paducah, and you put it on them. I was very surprised, to be honest with you. I've never seen you all play, but just from knowing what they have done over here, when I saw that score, I said, uh-oh, Josh done snuck out like his daddy used to and got the general to haul you in some players.
Well, we just picked a good time to play our best, really. I mean, I just kind of like I was telling Coach Gates. I mean, I didn't know what to expect all season long, or not after the season we had the other night, going against them because of Murray. I mean, say no more, and then Madisonville say no more, and then we came out last Friday night and just I don't know, we just put it all together.
That's a good feeling, isn't it?
I mean,
and it's a good time of year to do it. That's a good feeling. That's this time of year, especially. That means they listen to you all week, Josh. They listen to you.
What's that now?
That means they listen to you during the week. You pepped them up.
We toughed them up. Well, we had a really great week of practice last week. I know it sounds cliche for some, but those of us that have been that do it, and you guys know better than anybody that goes a long, long way.
It sure does.
And it was Tuesday and Wednesday was just about as good as it's been, and last week, and then we started practicing in the mornings on Thursday mornings back when it was hotter than the gates outside back in July and August and whatnot. They wanted to start going in the morning, so our 6 a.m. practice was really good, and we followed it up this week doing the same thing. So I was just really proud of them. That was a big win against a good team. There's not too many teams. Union County is about as good of a 3 seed as it gets.
I agree with you.
They rode in. They rode in there last year 8-2, and then this year they rode in there 7-3, and beat who they beat, and so it was a big win.
Well, Josh, I'm sorry, go ahead. It makes you sleep a lot better when you have a good practice, though.
It makes you sleep
a whole lot better.
Yes, it does. That anxiety that keeps you up after bad practices, it's not the same after you have good practices, is it, Coach?
No, at all.
Hey, Josh, tell us a little bit about your outstanding running back. I see that he's committed to the University of Louisville, and just looking at the paper from what Todd wrote in there this week, he's got really good size, it looks like, and just tell us about him.
Yeah, Anthony Atkins is just he's a heck of a talent, and Louisville really picked up a special player in him. He's going to be he's actually grown since last year. He's about 6'4" now. I project him to end up playing probably tight end, H-back type for U of L. And of course, he plays one of our halfback positions. Just a tremendous kid. I mean, he's got a 27, 26 ACT, 4.0 GPA. He's an all-region basketball player. Our basketball team last year went, I think, 31-2, 32-2. And he's a pivotal part of their success, and just so smart, and just really does a really good job. And I'm tickled to death to coach him, tickled to death to have him.
I also see that you've got another running back that had a really good game last week, Jeremiah Belton. He's just a sophomore, and
yes,
I think he led you in rushing last week, didn't he?
He did, and that's Anthony's younger brother, their stepbrother.
Okay.
And Anthony and Jerry. You know, Jerry's the point guard on the basketball team, and he's another one. He's kind of he's kind of the bulldog of the bunch. You know, he'll straighten them out and jerk a knot in their tail if they need to. He's the one that's not afraid to be a bad guy in the huddle, but he's probably one of the smallest ones we have. And you know, Dad was really impressed with him last year when he would come up and watch our games, and Jerry would get in and kind of some mop-up duty, and then, you know, he did some really good things in JV games. But I didn't really know. I knew he was gonna be good. I didn't know that he'd be able to have an impact for us this year like he did, being a sophomore and going over 1,000 yards also on his sophomore campaign. I mean, without him, I mean, we wouldn't have had the success we've had either. It's been a team effort, needless to say.
I also see you've got some pretty good-sized linemen you're bringing over here, and two huge tight ends, 6'4" and I think 6'5" and 6'6" kids. So you've got some real good size up front to go with them.
Sounds like you got the whole basketball team out on your team.
Well, listen, I just no joke. We really do. You know, there's so many good things about coaching here at LaRue County, but one of the best things, and I'm not just saying this, when I tell you that all of us coaches, basketball coaches, Coach Childress, Eric Allen, who was our former baseball coach, he's now assistant principal, Eric Burrell, our wrestling coach. When I tell you that we all get along like our friends and want the boys to play as many sports as they can, that's just how it is. And Mark Good, who came out this year, he's a junior. He's 6'6", 250 now. You know, he's one of the top 3 players in the region, top 2. And he had played football when he was younger. And then he saw the success that, you know, Jackson Boley had last year when he came out for his first year. And, you know, he ended up, the Boley kid ended up signing with Wyoming, and he's out there right now. And I think Mark kind of put it all together and figured, you know, 6'5", 6'6", I might be able to do some things in this sport. And so he decided to come out. Then Dallas Cox, Dallas plays tight end, other defensive end. He plays on the basketball team. Dallas has been offered by Murray, played defensive end, and he. So we've been really fortunate here about sharing kids and trying to get the best kids in the hallway to not just play football, but play as many sports as they can.
Josh, I want to commend you all for doing that, because in a school your size, you know, you have to do that. But I remember when I first started at Warren East, they were all basketball. And Betty, I had to work for 4 years, but I finally got some of those Brit kids and some of those other kids out, and once they all came out and saw how much better it even made them on the basketball floor, they all played, and we had a good time with them. But they were good kids, but they just, you know, it's tough till you get them going.
Yeah, it is, and then you get them out there, and then they, you know, Dad, he always told me that with guys that, and my grandfather always told me the same thing, that, you know, they never had a kid that came out for 1 or 2 years that regretted playing.
That's exactly right.
You never had a kid to say, dang, I wish I hadn't have done that. You know, 4 times a night, well, everyone I've ever encountered, they've been mad at themselves for not playing sooner.
Yeah, because those years go by so fast that, you know, they just wish they would have hung with it.
Yeah, they do, and I'm glad we've got them, and, you know, I'm glad we had Boley last year for a year, and glad that glad that Mark Good came out. Mark's a junior, so we've got him for a couple more years. So I'm tickled to death that we they came out for as long as they have. But we're really fortunate here. We share a lot of the same kids, and you have to. School
Yes.
size and Caldwell size, school all of our size. You gotta, Eli Pepper and those guys on the basketball team for Coach Barnes a couple years ago, and even now, to be successful at schools like ours, your best athletes have to play everything, and there's no other way around it, really.
Well, Josh, I know it's it's going to be a special night for you, with all the family involved, and of course we were nagging each other via text here a couple of days ago about it, and we know it's all for good fun, and it's great that families can get together. And one thing I was going to mention to you, back in the summer, I believe Mike Fields, who now writes for the KHSAA, just did an outstanding article on your family and the coaching tradition behind the Jaggerses, and starting out with your grandfather, Joe Kelly, back in 1963, and of course carrying it on through Marty and Crad, and now you, and of course Johnny was a long-time coach, is Joe's Kelly's brother, and it's just been a rich tradition in the state of Kentucky, and a lot of ball games been won by your family, and I know it's got to be very special.
It is. It's. I'll be honest with you. That was one of the football and just my family in general is. I mean, I go on and on forever about the joy and pride that I have. The dad and Papa Joe and Crad and Johnny and Brian and now Joby, doing his thing. That was really humbling getting to spend a couple days with Mike Fields. I mean, he literally, for the last 40 years, has brought Kentucky high school sports, especially football, to life to so many. And getting to spend a couple days with him was just really special. And then he came to a Thomas Nelson game and got a picture of Dad and I. And my grandfather wasn't able to make it to that game, but that was one of the I don't know if there's an appropriate word for it, but that was one of the coolest things I've been a part of in my 36 years on this earth, and all my years of football is getting to spend some time with him and being honored enough that he would want to do a story on them and myself, and just me to have a little small part in it.
Well, Mike Fields is one of the best. You mentioned that. He wrote for years at the Lexington Herald, and one of the biggest hires, I guess, the KHSA has done is hire him, because he's the best. He really is, and I know that makes you and your family feel well. I want to know another thing. How much input has Marty and your granddad give you this week?
I honestly not too much. I went over and sat with Papa Joe on Sunday, and Ricky and Bevy were up there, and he had a couple things written down for me, and he was showing them to me, and then he just said, "You know what?" He said, "Just keep doing what you've been doing." He said, "Just keep doing what you've been doing." And and then Dad, he coaches from afar. They're always critiquing now. I've told him, I said, y'all don't. I mean, I'm joking here saying it. I said, y'all don't know how tough it is. I said, y'all got to coach without anybody looking over your shoulder all the time. I said, here, I got you two. I said, looking over my shoulder all the time. I mean, we can go out and win a game, and next thing you know, coulda, shoulda done this and all that. But I thank the good Lord every day that I have them, and they're not just my dad and my grandfather, but they're two of my best friends, and I just relish in it, really and truly, to be able to have the support from them that I do, and they're always there. And I've got a clinic about every night, truth be told. A lot of guys have to go to clinics, and I still go to my fair share of them, but it's pretty special when you just all got to do is call up and pick up the phone and talk to one of those guys. So I'm really blessed to have them. But no, they don't coach. Dad has come up here a couple times this year. He'll come up during the summertime. He'll ride his Harley up here, and since he's got that, he'll come up here for a day or two, and he'll head back. But he usually just comes up here on Friday nights. And my grandfather, Papa Joe always talks about in the wintertime. He always says I think we need to do this, need to do that. Of course, he can't play golf in January, February, March. So he's got all these grand illusions of what we are going to do, and then season comes around and you don't see him very often. You get back on that golf course and you don't see him very often. So, but no, I'm tickled to death to have them. But they just watch from afar, and I think they like the role of being fans and sticking to their hobbies.
Josh, the good thing about it is when those people tell you something to do, you know they've done it. So we get a few answers.
That's exactly right.
Our buddy we talked about earlier, Charlie Coleman, he used to tell us every Saturday morning that we should have run the Statue of Liberty. So, at least you got somebody that knows pretty much the game.
Or the swinger. Or Johnny the Shears.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That old, the Boys of Fall song by Kenny Chesney when he says, old men always know it all. That's true. To be true in every small town. It is true, but those two, it's hard for me to argue against them when they say do something.
That's right.
I may at the time be like, golly, another thing, but after it resonates with me for a little bit, I'm like, well, they're right. So I end up, no sense reinventing the wheel when you don't have to.
No.
So I got those two to lean on.
It's a good thing.
Hey, Josh.
Yes, it is.
We sure do appreciate you spending this time with us, and I know that you've got a lot to do, and I don't know, y'all are on Eastern time, correct?
Yes, sir. We're right on Eastern time. Now, all the counties, we're kind of like, we're the farthest, Central time is all to the west of us and to the south of us. We're the first one on the line, us and Hardin County, and everybody else is on Central time, so we're right there on the line.
Okay. Well, I know you've probably got plans on leaving here pretty soon. It's a pretty long trip for you, and we want to wish you the best of luck tonight. And of course, we're pulling for the Caldwell County Tigers, but we want to wish you well. Sure. And you've done an outstanding job there. And of course, we think the world of you and your family, and what they've meant to Princeton and Caldwell County, as well as the state of Kentucky in football.
Well, that means a lot, and humbling to hear, and y'all know, all three of you, Coach Barnes sitting there, I know how much that we all think of you guys, and we've all had a pretty special bond over the years through football, or be it out of Princeton Country Club, or whatever. It's special, and I've just been blessed to be part of it.
Well, we thank you for that comment too, Joshua. We appreciate it very much.
We do, and of course, yes. Your dad and I go back to the Western days. He was a little bit younger than I was, right. But we spent a lot of time together, of course, being from Western Kentucky, and there was always a special bond there of players that was in the same, area and had a lot of local interest, and we had each other's back all the time, and we appreciate our friendships, and once again, we want to wish you the best of luck and have safe travels here and home.
We'll see you over I'll see you over on the track tonight, buddy.
That'd be fine. That sounds good. Y'all come on over. We'll be there. We're actually going to leave a little bit later. Last year, I kind of drug the trip out a little bit long. My administration's great. They said do what you got to do, and we kind of drug it out a little bit longer. It's only about a 2-hour trip from here, truth be told. So we're just. I think we're going to keep it as normal, as routine as possible. And we're going to leave here as soon as we can when the guys get back on their bus routes. We're going to leave, I don't know, probably 3:15, 3:30 our time. So, obviously an hour behind down there. So we'll roll in with plenty of time to get off the bus and move around and warm up. But we're going to kind of treat it a little bit more normal, I guess you could say, this year. But we'll hopefully have safe travels. We'll see you guys down there later on tonight.
All righty.
We sure appreciate it. We've been talking to Josh Jaggers, the head football coach of the Root County Hawks.
Napa know-how.
The only thing worse than rain and slush on the road is rain and slush on your windshield. Luckily, when you buy a pair of Rain-X wiper blades, you'll get up to $10 off, plus a free bottle of Rain-X 2-in-1 glass cleaner. So clean off the crud with up to $10 off a pair of Rain-X wiper blades and free glass cleaner. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer ends 12/31/18.
As the morning sun shines in, you hit the snooze button. 10 minutes turned into an hour. Now there's no time to take a shower or time to get dressed, which explains the sweater vest and the fedora. When your morning is hell, just go to Taco Bell.
And for just $1, let us make you breakfast, like Taco Bell's grilled breakfast burrito. Eggs, bacon, and cheese wrapped in a warm tortilla. At participating stores for a limited time during breakfast hours. Prices may vary, tax extra.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Get your winter coats out because today is supposed to be cloudy, but the sun will be out this afternoon. High is only going to be near 47. Partly cloudy overnight with an overnight low around 23. Even cooler tomorrow, sunny skies, but a high only near 39. Mostly clear overnight tomorrow night with an overnight low around 25. And Sunday a little bit warmer than Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 48. Today again, cloudy, then gradually sunny throughout the day with a high near 47.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Herb Hayes Furniture.
What does your morning sound like?
The itsy bitsy spider, rock-a-bye baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
The new GMC Sierra is here in 2019, the most sophisticated luxury truck on the road today. In 2019, they've released the AT4, the ultimate off-road vehicle for off-road enthusiasts and hunters alike. The AT4 comes with a factory-installed 2-inch lift and off-road wheels and tires. In the front of the pack is where the Denali with the 6.2-liter engine, followed by the SLT and SLE trim levels. More refined styling and badging has added a bold appearance to the most sought-after vehicle in the truck market. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91, Princeton.
Back here with Gator and DT, and we've been visiting with Josh Jaggers, the head football coach of the LaRue County Hawks, who the Caldwell County takes on tonight here at Tiger Stadium at 7 p.m. And very good interview with Josh. Good to hear from him. And D, your thoughts and comments.
Josh is a good boy. He's worked hard to get where he is. He's didn't mind moving around to different places to get a head job. You know, a lot of times a lot of them won't want to do that, and to get one, sometimes that's what you have to do. But he's performed well over at LaRue County. I don't know how they played E-Town this year. I can't remember. Of course, E-Town is kind of like Mayfield or us down here. The rest of they kind of in Paducah, you know, they kind of go by those teams. But they keep coming back. You know, we had a dare here one year.
Yeah.
And then I think they won 1 game, 2 years in a row. They're back, and so, you know, like he said, he thought Union was probably one of the better 3 seeds. They were tough. I'm telling you, and you know what? I always say they just need 2 playoff teams. But then again, when you look at a team with 7-3 like Union, and they wouldn't have made it if we'd have had 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know, maybe the 4th team sometimes maybe not be there, but I guess it gives everybody at least a clear shot anyway.
There's always going to be debate.
Yes, exactly.
You know, a 4-team to a 2-team, and you know, I hate to see it keep changing back and forth.
Yeah.
We're used to a 4-team now, and hopefully to continue that way. But you know, we were talking during the break here that we couldn't tell Josh from Marty or Johnny or Brian. You know, they all the Jaggers sound alike. And you know, he just did a great interview with us, and he's an outstanding young man as well as the rest of his family, and of course we appreciate him. And Coach Barnes, to you, how's the health of our team going into tonight's game?
In pretty good shape.
Good shape?
Yep.
Good. Everybody seems to be back, you know, full speed, and I know you're looking forward to it. We mentioned earlier, it's the same scenario last year. You know, you got Paducah Tillman going to Elizabethtown again, playing them, of course, and us in LaRue County, and the 2 winners will meet. And, of course, the site is to be undetermined yet.
Yeah.
And, of course, you can look at the scenario. If we win and Paducah Tillman goes down and beats Elizabethtown, then we have another home game, which would be a big advantage to us. And
I think it's what happened in '98. You guys played in the third round. You were supposed to be on the road, but Catholic got
Owensboro
beat.
Catholic got upset by Hancock County.
And you played Hancock here, and in 2012, Murray beat Catholic. We got Murray back here for a home game for the third round.
So, we're kind of hoping for a Paducah-Tillman win tonight.
Well, I read an E-Town paper, Mark Brown at E-Town. He said one of the toughest things they got is stopping the run game like what Paducah-Tillman's got. So I know Glasgow, Garmin and them ran for over 300 yards against them in the last game of the year. So that ought to be a really good game up there at E-Town tonight.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff Garman, matter of fact, this week, and he was telling me about the E-Town Glasgow game and how close a game it was, and he feels like he's got a good football team, and of course he doesn't want to look ahead, but he looks like he may have a matchup with Mayfield here in the semifinals if things hold
He's got
true.
that lineman, committed to Alabama. That's a really good player.
Good player.
As far as the field conditions, E-Towns won't have a problem, but how's ours? Is Willie got ours in good shape?
Willie and Bruce and Bradley, they got that field ready to go. We were on it yesterday for pregame, and it's solid.
Good.
It didn't get chopped up any all last week, so it's in good shape.
Gonna have heaters on the sidelines.
Jake Pepper brought them out yesterday.
Did he bring them out? I figured he would. Well, that's good. That's good. Let's talk a little bit about some of the games tonight in the areas. Still got several local teams playing in the playoffs, and of course one of our wins right pretty close down the road here is the Crittenden County Rockets. They take on Bethlehem. I believe are they out of Bardstown? Bardstown, Bethlehem, and of course they're cruising right along now. They're 10-1. Only blemish is to us. So we want to wish the Crittenden County Rockets the best of luck.
Looks like a good chance they'll probably have to go to Campbellsville. We had a film on Campbellsville against LaRue County. Campbellsville's got a good football team.
I tell you what, Crittenden was pretty good.
Yeah.
Really for
three quarters.
They reminded me of the year you won the state. They had somebody at every position. You were lucky you didn't get anybody hurt.
Very
and
fortunate.
right now they've got pretty much somebody at every position that can handle it.
And the advantage of playing at home over at Crittenden too. You're talking about a home field advantage. Bethlehem's going to be in for a rude awakening. I can remember back in '85 when we played Carroll County, and when they made the long trip down here, and we had a really big advantage of playing at home, and most teams do this time of the year. Of course, you stay in your routine, and the more you play at home, the better off you are. In 2A, of course, it doesn't look like Mayfield will have very much problem taking on McLean County. Then you got Owensboro Catholic in Murray. That should be a good football game.
And where is that played?
It's at Owensboro Catholic.
Always.
Yeah.
Have you ever known them not to play at home? Every time we play
that's going to be a tough matchup. I'd say, Murray has a good football team, and as Josh mentioned, Union County went down there and beat Murray at Murray.
10-8. I think it was 10-8, wasn't it?
10-8, sure did. Of course, in 3A, we've already mentioned LaRue at Caldwell, and you got Paducah-Tillman at Elizabethtown, and we're pulling for the Blue Tornado, I guess.
We're pulling for both blues.
Yeah, both blues. 4A, and 4A, we've got Logan County at Franklin-Simpson. Franklin-Simpson, again, is probably the top team in 4A this year. And, of course, Logan County's had another outstanding season. I think they've only had 1 or 2 losses, and, they got a good football team. And probably one of the most interesting matchups is going to be Hoptown at Madisonville.
Yeah.
This would be the second time. I think Craig went over and got beat.
Yeah. It was 14-0 or
14-0, I believe. And, I talked to Craig earlier in the week, and he said his quarterback has really come around. The young man
that filled in for the other one?
Yes. And he said he's starting to throw the ball some, and they're playing their best football. Of course, all of his teams seem like they do right here at the end. And, of course, that might be another matchup between Franklin-Simpson and Hoptown next week, just like, our situation. 5A, of course, looks like Bowling Green goes to Owensboro.
That'll be a good matchup.
That should be a pretty good matchup. Bowling Green's probably not quite as strong as they've been in the past few years, but the other matchup is Grayson County at South Warren. South Warren is probably the top team in 5A.
Coach Smart's still there at Grayson, and last week he had a kid that ran. I think they put up 500 yards of rushing, and one kid had like 300-some yards rushing last week.
And against a good Graves County.
I thought Graves was pretty good, but evidently, I don't know, they're better. They beat them pretty bad.
Yeah, they did. And, that should be an interesting matchup. And, of course, in 6A, McCracken County's still playing at home. They play Louisville Ballard, which should be a pretty good matchup.
The matchup tonight, probably the state championship game, is Frederick Douglass against Scott County. That's in 6A. That's probably for the state championship.
I was telling Dennis, I believe, earlier that I talked to Bob Redmond yesterday, and he does all these shows up in Louisville for high school football, and he said he thought Louisville Male probably had the best 6A club up there, even though St. X beat them the first time. He said, he said the mystery team is Frederick Douglass.
Yeah. Where are they? What is that?
It's a new school in Lexington.
Is it a public school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And they've gotten several they've pulled from all the high schools, Bryan Station, Henry Clay, Tates Creek, Lafayette, all the schools up there, and they've pulled out the best athletes, I think, from those schools.
Their quarterback they pulled out of the mountains. He's about a 6'6" kid. Transferred in there.
Yeah, and they said that they're really something special. And, of course, Henderson County's got to go to Louisville Trinity. Of course, Trinity's record's not as good as it's been in the past, but they've played a heck of a schedule. And, of course, we've played Henderson County earlier. I thought they had a really good – I thought that was a turning point of our season, our win over them.
Football team.
Yeah. And the other, I guess, interest game we have, Dennis, is Kevin Wallace and St. X.
Yeah.
They play Louisville Butler, and that should be a good matchup as well. So.
Yep, I hope Kevin does well. He's done pretty well this year for just starting out.
Right.
He's had some injuries. I talked to him for a little bit, but he's done a good job with that team.
Should be some good matchups tonight, and they only get better next week. The further you go, then the better the matchup.
Better and colder.
And you know what? Thanksgiving's just right around the corner.
That sounds good eating wise.
And then it's Christmas. We're right here in the holiday season.
This is tax season too. Don't forget, you get to pay your taxes.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why you went down and saw Tony. You got to pay for that.
Well, I had to get a license plate.
That's right.
for a trailer. Any closing comments there, Coach Barnes?
Just hope everybody comes out. It's going to be cold, but we'll wrap up and come out and support the Tigers tonight.
Bring your deer apparel. Of course, this is an opening weekend of deer season, and wear your coveralls, and it should be a great game to watch. And of course, it's going to be a great weekend for deer hunters out there, and we want everyone to be careful. And I'll be out in the woods as well, I guess. Dennis, have you gotten your?
I'm glad my son is not here this week because you take him again when he was little. I was always worried about you shooting him instead of deer.
What did we ask Chick Walker every year about going deer hunting?
He said when they started making holiday ends, he quit camping.
Plus, he said he had all of his rocks ready.
Yeah, he had his slingshot ready.
Yeah. Well, Coach, once again, appreciate you coming in. And, Dennis, you got any closing comments?
Thanks to everybody for listening, the ones that do. The ones that don't, try to give it a shot next time.
And of course, we're on a kind of like the football team. We're on a one-game season from week to week.
We want to be back here next week.
We want to be back here again next week and talking about the regional finals. We've been in the regional finals how many years in a row?
6.
6 years in a row.
7, actually.
What an accomplishment. And, Coach, we want to wish you the best of luck in the Caldwell County Tigers.
Thank First Southern Bank and Timmy Bashir Sawmill for feeding us last night at Majestic House. We really appreciate that.
I tell you what, we talk about that all the time about this community and how giving they are, and without their support, it means a lot. I mean, it means a lot to those kids when they take that field. They know they're just not playing; they're playing for the entire community.
Yeah.
And we appreciate all those people that donate and allow those kids to have things that they wouldn't normally have. This is a football community, and of course, we cherish it.
One quick thing, David, I was going to say, this year, you've had a lot of people, not a lot, but ones that get hurt, you've had some people step up for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's made a difference,
we lost Ben Holt after the Fort Campbell game. He got knocked out, and we had some kids step in for him.
And you had some kids, I believe his name is Hall. He stepped in for Oliver early in the year, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't play. And
Billy Baker's son, he stepped
but
up.
Billy coached him. He knows how to play football.
Exactly.
Billy's from Fredonia, Yellow Jack. He knows how to play football.
And Billy, I think it's next week. He's supposed to have cataract surgery, so we want to,
That's right.
We want to wish him, a speedy recovery and good luck through that. And I guarantee you, if we're playing next week, he'll be there somehow.
He'll be there.
Yeah. Well, once again, we want to thank everyone for listening, and hopefully you'll be joining us again next Friday morning for the Gator and DT show.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
It's here now. The all-new 2019 Silverado from Chevrolet with the steely-eyed front end that will surely grab your attention. Space, comfort, and convenience all found in its accommodating interior with built